You may find my interests far removed from that end of the spectrum, however. Do you cater to those gentlemen who wish to give out such treatment? Oh, most certainly. For those situations, we have on honour the service of several Dolly Mops. Dolly Mops, madam? I am not familiar with that term. A Dolly Mop is often a girl in service, such as a maid or a nanny, who, in order to earn a little extra money beyond their domestic employment, chooses to become a prostitute. As you can understand, a regular girl could not afford to be left in a condition which might render her unable to entertain gentlemen for a few days. But a Dolly Mop can easily keep such marks hidden in her regular job before she was recovered enough to return for another evening here. It soon became one of Damian's pleasures to frequent the establishment of Madame Q, who freely permitted his sadism and unbridled lust to be enacted upon her Dolly Mops. There were never any complaints because the domestic servants who came to Madame Q in order to supplement their meagre wages were well compensated for the diverse deprivations that the gentlemen took with them. Another pleasure of Madame Q's establishment was that she required her Dolly Mops to wear pantaloons, bloomers split open in the middle, and dance upon the raised stage, teasing the customers by raising their skirts in the fashion that was currently so popular on the continent. Her regular curls were far too refined for such activity, so they would sit amongst the men in the audience when not otherwise engaged. Damian particularly enjoyed these cunt-beak shows because he was able to discover a prospective partner who may be shaved before he made his evening selection. A lack of pubic hair had never been a consideration until Damian had been so aroused by the smooth mounds he witnessed at Dr. Onan's establishment, and then compounded by his inability to see Lady Bridgette in that way. A shaved girl had become a preference for him. So much was his desire that he sometimes paid Madame Q an extra sovereign to have one of her girls shaved prior to him taking his pleasure with her. Then, one evening, a new Dolly Mop caught Damian's eye and prompted a lascivious smile. This wasn't just any gaudily painted girl enthusiastically displaying her undergarments upon the stage. In spite of attempted concealment between apple-painted cheeks, bright red lips, and darkened eyelashes, it was clearly Rosie, his own parlour maid. Now, any other employer would think to dismiss a maid immediately for such an infraction, nay, betrayal, for servants were required to be loyal to the households they worked for. But Damian's thoughts were on a completely different track, and the potential was delicious.